So moving along with Jesus, we're in chapter 13, and he starts telling some more parables about the kingdom and what it looks like. And so he gets to this story where he starts to talk about weeds. And, he seems like he's kind of got this plant fixation for a little bit. And he starts to talk about, it's like these sowers that go out in the field and they sow this big wheat field. But as they've done that and, they go and they rest, it says that the evil one intentionally comes in and he starts to sow weeds in the wheat field. And it says that as they wake up the next morning, they see these other plants in there and they go, we sowed good seed. What's going on here? And they tell the master and he goes, and they start to ask, should we go out and should we pull out the weeds right now? And the master says, no, leave them, because we might hurt the wheat if we pull out the weeds. And then he continues on and he starts talking about a mustard seed. And he starts to talk about, how it's a small seed and becomes a great plant. Then he talks about leaven. He talks about, how that will start to work its way through flour, and the entire batch of flour will just be completely full of yeast and leaven in just a little bit of time. And I feel like sometimes when Jesus starts going through these parables, I'm kind of standing there going, okay, I know how Sunday school works. I just nod along and we move on and we talk about something else. But it seems like he's trying to communicate this really powerful point, and he is. And he draws in his audience with these stories, and he starts to connect things, and he goes, look, the wheat field, that's like the world. And we're sowing this message of the kingdom. And the evil one, he's going to come and he's going to sow things into this world. And it's going to be meant to destroy the message, but it's not going to. So these things are going to be there. And then he goes, the workers in the field, those are the angels, and they're going to come at the end and they're going to gather. And it's at that time that God will make the judgment. He'll say, this is good wheat. We can keep this. And these weeds, no, these are going to go to the fire and be burned. And he's looking at them and he's trying to communicate this strong point where he goes, look, there's so much that you can do for the kingdom in this world. And they're great things. And you should do all of those things. But there's also going to be other things that are sown into this world. And they're meaningless things. They're unnecessary things. And those are the things that are ultimately going to be burned away. So as we start to meet together in our life labs, as we start to have coffee again, as we look and go, oh my goodness, I can go to a restaurant and I can eat with my friends. As we start to do those things, start to think about the words that you're using. Start to think about the way you're treating your server. Start to think about the impact that you're leaving on the people around you, because those are the things, those are the kingdom elements that we can build into our life. If we're just aware of how we interact with people, we can really bring a touch of grace, a touch of compassion, a touch of a little bit of God's kingdom in people's lives. And those are the things that are going to be transformed when Jesus comes back again. And we see this kingdom now in its full reality. Those are the things that are going to be lasting. Those are the things that are going to make big changes in people's life. And so we need to concentrate on being people who do those things that bring God's kingdom to our here and now.